Are you one of those people that loves a task list and just loves to check off everything that you've done? You feel that sense of satisfaction? You're going to want to watch this. Not going to lie, that's definitely how I roll. I love to have lists and tasks for me to do, and I love to just mark it out. It gives me that sense of like productivity and accomplishment, right? But what we tend to do with that is that we start to put more value on the productivity than we do on the meaning and why we're doing it. And soon you'll find yourself just going through life and everything is, you're just putting tasks on everything. You're just getting through things, right? You're just doing it, to mark something off, to say that you did it. Whether that be your morning meditation, whether that be exercise, whether that be time with your partner. Now, don't get me wrong, I love tasks, like I said, but it starts to rule our life where productivity is more important than the actual meaning of why we're doing it. And having a task list is really good for things, and you know, we all have certain things, like mundane things that we do that we have to do, like go to the grocery store and get gas in your car, drop your kids off, things like that. Those are fine. But where it starts to trickle into your personal life is these personal things, these self practices and these relationships. I see this a lot with partners too, of not wanting to go on a date or not wanting to have sex. Like, all of these things are tasks, like they're just like to-do lists, right, that you have to do. And that's okay, like, to feel that way. We all feel that way. We have so many things going on and so many tasks that we're writing off, that we've come to see these things that really at one point really meant something to us. They're now considered tasks. And so when you find this, you need to ask yourself, like, why is this a task to me? For instance, with your relationship with your partner, why do I treat this as a task, that we are going out or we're having sex, or in your practice in the morning? You know, why is this such a chore for me to do my meditation and all the other things that I do to help me get started in the morning? And you're rushing through it because you're treating it like a chore or a task. And we typically give the meaning of a chore or task as just something mundane and just something to just do, something that we have to do, right? So we want to do a little bit of wordsmithing here. So instead of I have to do this, like I get to do this, really telling yourself, like, I get to do this. I get to spend time with my husband. I get to have sex with my husband. Or I get to do this meditation. Like, I have this time to do it. I get to do it because I know it makes me feel good. I get to exercise because I have this amazing body that works and that can lift weights and that can move so effortlessly. It's shifting that narrative around. Instead of treating it like a task or a chore, it is something that fulfills you. It is something that is good for you. And if we just change that wording around, then it will start to become, the emotion behind it will begin to change. And this is especially helpful if you can't get the emotion behind it, right? So if you can't get the emotion behind it yet, using that I get to verbiage is really good, because then eventually you'll start to develop that emotion behind it of, yeah, I do get to, like, this is pretty awesome. Like, I'm so grateful that I get to do this and that I have this. Same thing with your relationships. I get to do this. I get to build this connection. I get to build this value. And the other thing to note here is that it also gives you an indication of maybe you need to switch things up a little bit. Maybe you need to do a different kind of meditation. Maybe you need to do a different kind of morning routine, because we're not meant to stay stagnant. And our practices, they all change. Same thing in your relationships with other people and with your partner too. Maybe there's something different. Maybe it's stagnant because you've been doing the same thing all the time, and you just need to spice it up and do something else, do something a little bit different, something that, because you have evolved from 3 months ago, so now this doesn't interest you anymore, but let's try something else. So it's all about finding these shifts and these different perspectives. And when you start to use those words, I get to, and you start to feel that emotion, it will no longer become a task or a chore to you. It will be something that you want to do, and that you'll get that feeling back again.